Ladies and gentlemen, Zoo Tours presents the Cat Canyon at the Cincinnati Zoo. Before we head down to the hill, let's take a quick look at some history at this very historical zoo. Some remnants of the exhibits that we're about to see date back to the tiger and lion grottoes of the early 1930s. Later renamed the Tiger Canyon, these grottoes lasted for over 75 years until 2012, when they were revamped, reshaped, and renamed once more to the Cat Canyon. For this newer attraction, the area did keep 2 of its species, but also introduced 2 more. With that short intro, let's begin. If you want to access Cat Canyon, you must first pass its sister exhibit. What we're looking at was once a series of small cat cages that were removed not even 10 years ago. This was the famous cat house, now known as the nocturnal building Night Hunters. Usually people go through here first, which is why this and Cat Canyon were referred to as Phase 1 and 2 in a single project. If you want to go through it, click on the card above. But further down, you're given hints of the first attraction by signs filled with several names that refer to the same animal. This smaller but still beautifully designed area is home to brothers Tecumseh and Joseph, mountain lions, the species that can be referred to in over 85 different ways. They came to the zoo as cubs in 2010 and were hand-reared. Going against my previous talks of renovating old enclosures, theirs is actually an original one that was added in 2011, after Night Hunters and before Cat Canyon. Behind them is the trail to the ravine. During the days of Tiger Canyon, the entrance was on the opposite side, and the viewing area was just one long single line. Today, the path takes you directly into the middle of the former habitats and winds into several directions. The next view overlooks the first of 2 tiger exhibits. I mentioned that Cat Canyon kept some of its animals, one of them being their white tigers, an elderly male and a female. The 2 got to live in their new home for several years before passing away in 2017 and 18. Fortunately, I was able to retain this footage of them and will always be grateful because of their male. I have my greatest shot. Even though it's frowned upon now, the Cincinnati Zoo is, or was, the zoo capital for breeding the white tiger. If you were to visit today, well, actually I haven't been in a few months, but to my knowledge you could still see 3 Malayan tigers, Kira, Batari, and Izzy, all sisters that were born here during the baby boom of 2017. Unfortunately, the instincts from their mother, Cinta, who no longer lives at the zoo, didn't kick in, and the cubs had to be hand-raised. In fact, before here, they were actually exhibited in Night Hunters. What people don't know about them is that they are incredibly rare. These sisters are the most genetically valuable Malayan tigers in a zoo population, meaning it won't be a problem for each of them to receive a breeding recommendation from the AZA to help grow their kind of under 500 individuals. With this good amount of females, hopefully the male will come to us. The path starts to decline to the very bottom of the canyon. This is the second tiger habitat with all glass and level grounded viewing. Before Cat Canyon, you couldn't get this close to the animals, and there were no water features. In fact, according to the plans, there was supposed to be an underwater view. Around the rest of the area are not just informational signs, but they have a couple of features that sort of show how you can tell when a tiger has been around, including the tiger scratch tree, where if you scratch it or go next to it, you'd be caught on a camera trap, and your image would then show up on this screen. To get to the next area, you must first backtrack a little up the hill. After passing the Asian montane forest, the theme is continued with a rocky, outcropped habitat home to snow leopards Renji and Nubo, the kings of the mountains. Though the 2 didn't live in Cincinnati prior to Cat Canyon's opening, generally the snow leopard here had the worst enclosure in the entire zoo, living only indoors at the former cat house. So fortunately, the zoo doesn't have to worry about criticism for this one for a very long time. The 2 leopards may soon not be alone, because the zoo has been hinting for quite some time that Renji might be pregnant. And on that note, this ends this quick tour of the Cincinnati Zoo's Cat Canyon. Fairly simple, but it will always be a fan favorite to many, especially now with these enthusiastic young sisters. It would be a perfect time to visit. No clue what I should feature next in the Queen City, so I want you to comment what it should be. Just don't say Africa yet. Thank you so much for watching Zoo Tours, and stay tuned for the next episode.